Imagine breaking into what looks like the perfect house with no alarms, no cameras, and no one home. A quiet place in an abandoned neighborhood owned by a blind old man who seems completely helpless. At first, it feels like the easiest job you could ever take. But this house is not what it seems. What starts as a simple robbery quickly turns into a deadly game of survival inside a house that feels more like a trap than a home. Every step they take, every breath they make, and every mistake they commit brings them closer to something they never expected. The story began where an old man was pulling a helpless woman from an abandoned neighborhood. Oh no. Then we see a group of young burglars. At this point, you already know it's a bad idea when the characters start acting too confident. There's Rocky, who just wants to escape her horrible home life and take her little sister with her. So for her, every robbery is basically one more job and I'm out of here forever. Then there's Money, and yes, that is actually his name, which is already a red flag. And then there's Alex, the only guy in the group with common sense, which means he is constantly ignored, as tradition in horror movies. Alex is basically the type of guy who says,
"This is a bad idea."
One day, Money hears about a blind war veteran living alone in a completely abandoned neighborhood, and immediately, he does what every bad decision maker does. He hears blind and stops listening to everything else.
All right, let's hear it.
Alex, on the other hand, is already suspicious. Money explains why they should rob it.
300K.
Boom!
But the old man's daughter was ran over by a rich girl and her family gave him a huge settle of at least $300,000. Whoa, but at what cost? Rocky goes along with the idea, but Alex is still hesitant. Later that day, Rocky sends a text message to Alex begging him to do the job for her so she could get someone out. While he researches the old man, Rocky is at home with her little sister, her mom, and her mom's new boyfriend. They're horrible. I'll leave the house immediately. It becomes apparent that the message was sent to Alex was clear about her sister when she starts asking her if she wants to go to California with her. Ooh, I want to go there too. She want to get her sister out of their horrible family situation. They go scout the old man's house. Alex and Rocky remain in the car alone. She tells a story from her childhood with him, and Alex tells her that he will come with her to California when they finish the job.
If we get this money, I'm going away with you guys.
I know you will.
Rocky's boyfriend comes back in the car and confirms what they knew about the house. When a dog jumps at the girl's window, an old man calls for the dog, and Money tells them that is the guy. He seems simple. They realize he's blind, and you know who says it is unethical? It's our guy, Alex. Cut to midnight. The heist is officially on. They park their getaway car down the street and creep through the shadows of the dead neighborhood. The silence is shattered as the massive Rottweiler as it barks violently. Money is actually prepared for once. He pulls out a piece of raw meat with drugs and tosses it over the fence. They move to the house and realize just how impenetrable it is. They check for a side door or a window, but find only a small window which only Rocky can enter. She enters the house and stops the alarm with a remote that Alex gives her. She saw framed pictures of the old man's dead daughter. Meanwhile, Alex and Money are waiting for her to let them in. Once inside the house, they start going through, looking for the safe with the money. Rocky tries to look on the closet. Money goes to the old man and finds him sleeping in his room with a video of his daughter. The old man wakes up and turns off the TV, but Money manages to set of the gas. Then, the three of them finds a bolted door, thinking the money must be there. He pulls out a pistol equipped with a makeshift silencer. Alex panics, realizing Money brought a deadly weapon, crossing the line into armed robbery. Money ignores him, aims at the padlock, and fires. Our Alex was scared and decides to leave. He takes his shoes and left. Money and Rocky open the door, but the blind man steps into the hallway, fully alert. Money tries to act tough, pointing the gun and screaming threats.
One single step, all right?
He shoots at him once to scare him, but the blind man, still tough. Alex hears the shot outside. The blind man grabs the gun from him and demands to know how many people are in his house.
It's just fucking me. Just let me go.
Then he shoots him. Whoa. He is really not a normal blind guy. Rocky hides into the closet. Alex runs back inside to save Rocky just as the blind man walks over to the front door and locks the door. Alex texts with Rocky. She tells him where she's hiding. The blind man comes into the closet and opens a hidden wall safe. He checks the money bags inside to ensure they are secure and closes it, unaware that Rocky is inside the closet too. Alex comes in the closet and suggests they should call the cops. But movies like this won't end like that. Rocky disagrees. She opens the safe, and inside they find way more than $300,000. It's over $1 million in cash. They decide to leave through the door that was bolted, thinking it would lead them to the basement and to a hatch that leads to the yard. As they about to go in, the blind man pop up from inside and drags Money's body. Then, after that noise, he continues to drag Money, which gave them chance to enter. At this point, he still doesn't know that other people's still there until he finds their shoes. He checks the safe and realizes the money was gone. Meanwhile, as they navigate through the basement, they're shocked to find young woman is tied up in a full-body harness. She moves and a ring attached to her alerts the blind man that there is something going on in the basement. Alex and Rocky find out the girl is the same girl that ran over his daughter. Rocky refuses to leave her behind. They run up to the hatch. Freedom is right there. But suddenly, he kills the girl that killed his daughter. Alex and Rocky runs. The blind man is calling to his baby, saying that his baby is dead. He cut the electricity for our characters, but for the blind man, this is advantage like now you see what I see. He managed to strangle Alex, but our guy is a main character. He escapes with Rocky again. Outside the basement, the big dog is now fully awake. It chases them on the second floor and corners them in one of the rooms. The windows are locked, and it seems that there is no way to escape. The blind man catches up to them and bashes in the door. Rocky spots an air vent, and Alex tells her to go, and he'll keep the door safe. But the blind man manages to break through the doors and attack Alex. He falls to the window and falls into another window, knocked unconscious. Meanwhile, the blind man sends his dog into the air vents after Rocky. She manages to drop out to an exhaust vent. The blind man manages to find Alex and shoots the window, dropping again. Alex goes to another room where the blind man keeps his gardening tools and where he had put Money's body. Tries to fight, but he got beaten unconscious and stabs him. Never underestimate our blind guy. Rocky woke up and in pain starts to crawl through the vents and spots two openings, one going down and the other one was the Freedom. She is about to be free, but she was grabbed into the mouth. Rocky wakes up in the basement. She's stripped and tied up like the other girl was. She begs him to let her go. He explains the girl killed his daughter. He kidnapped her to force her to bear a replacement child. Because of them, the girl and his unborn baby was killed. He tells Rocky she must give a new one. What the heck, poor girl. Our Alex wakes up. It turns out he wasn't the one who got stabbed, but Money's body. He tricks the dog into the room and locks it in. Nice one, Alex. Then he unlocks the front door. Back in the basement, the blind man pulls out a container of his own fluid and will inject it to her. Rocky screams, "Just, we lose our mind." Our Alex tackles him and handcuffs the blind man. He releases Rocky and kicks the blind man. He deserves it. Alex quickly cuts Rocky down and leaves him handcuffed. They grab the money and leave the basement. The moment Alex opens the door, he got shot. Freedom is one step away. No, I thought he never dies. Rocky starts to run and sends his dog after her, tries to dive in the car, but the dog catches up and she drops the bag of money outside. She realizes that she doesn't have the key. Rocky traps the dog inside the car. That is smart, but as soon as she grabs the money, the blind man grabs her again and starts pulling her. Oh, the intro. When they're back, Rocky finds the remote for the alarm and activates it. The high-frequency noise completely obliterates the blind man and manages to knock him down in the basement. This is it. She runs as the police are arriving in the house. Then we see Rocky with her little sister. She looks up at the TV broadcasting the local news. The blind man survived. However, there is no mention about she was involved in the robbery. Rocky is now free and boards the train to California. What a wild ride. What do you think was the most intense moment of the whole house inspection? Like and subscribe. See you in the next one.